Welcome to our Quantum Deep Dive. Today, we're going to dive into the Large Electron Positron Collider, or LEP for short. Our guide for this is the fantastic essay, LEP, Precision Machine of Particle Physics, by Jorg Oehschneepat.
We're going to walk through the story of LEP, almost like a hero's journey, from its creation and what it was built to do, all the way to its lasting impact on science. Okay, let's get into it.
So to kick things off, what exactly was LEP? Well, it wasn't just another particle accelerator. Nope, this was a machine built for one main purpose: extreme, unbelievable precision. Exactly. See, back in the 1980s, the standard model of particle physics, which is our best theory for how the universe's fundamental forces work, was really coming together. But theories need proof. While other colliders were like sledgehammers built for just raw power, LEP was designed to be a scalpel. Its entire mission was to make incredibly precise measurements of the electroweak force to see if the math really truly matched up with reality.
And this whole mission, it played out over nearly 2 decades. They first broke ground way back in 1983, with the first particle collisions happening in '89. That first phase, LEP-1, was all about the Z boson. Then, in 1995, they upgraded the energy for the next phase, LEP-2. And finally, in the year 2000, it was shut down to make way for its very famous successor.
And to get that level of precision, LEP had to be absolutely massive. We were talking about a ring that was almost 27 kilometers around, a monumental feat of engineering for its time. It was built in a tunnel deep underground, so big that it actually crossed the border between France and Switzerland. Just think about the precision required to build something on that scale back in the 80s. It was a landmark achievement all by itself.
Yeah, that massive size wasn't just for show. It was a direct result of the very unique particles LEP was designed to smash together: matter and its complete opposite, antimatter.
So, why those specific particles? Well, unlike protons, which are kind of complex, messy bags of smaller particles called quarks, electrons and positrons are fundamental. They are true point-like particles. They have no internal structure. And when they collide, they completely annihilate each other into pure energy.
And this is precisely why LEP was so special. An electron-positron collision is incredibly clean. All of their combined energy gets converted into creating new particles. Now, colliding protons, like they do at the Large Hadron Collider, is way, way messier. Someone once compared it to smashing 2 garbage cans full of marbles together. You just get this chaotic spray of debris, and only a tiny bit of the energy goes into the actual thing you want to study. LEP's approach, it was all about elegance and precision.
But there's a catch. Using superlight particles like electrons creates a huge challenge, and it's called synchrotron radiation. See, when you use magnets to force a charged particle to travel in a circle, it radiates away energy, and the amount of energy it loses depends on its mass, to the 4th power. For a tiny particle like an electron, this energy loss is enormous. And that's the main reason the ring had to be so gigantic, to make the curves as gentle as possible to minimize that energy loss.
So, after overcoming all these amazing engineering challenges, LEP was finally ready to do its job, and it produced some of the most important confirmations of our understanding of the universe. It was time for the standard model to face its most precise test ever. And here is where you see the payoff for all that hard work. The standard model predicted the precise mass of the Z boson, one of the particles that carries the weak nuclear force. LEP's #1 job was to measure it. The final result was 91.1876 giga-electron volts. That's just how particle physicists talk about mass and energy, with an uncertainty of only 2 parts in 100,000. It was a staggering level of precision, and it matched the theory perfectly. It was an absolute home run for the standard model.
But maybe its most elegant discovery answered a really profound question that had puzzled physicists for years. You see, we knew about these different generations or families of matter particles, but we had no idea if there were more than the 3 we'd already found.
And the answer, definitively, was 3. By precisely measuring all the different ways the Z boson could decay, scientists at LEP could figure out the number of different types of light neutrinos that exist. And since each type of neutrino corresponds to one family of matter, that told them the total number of families. The result was so precise it was basically indisputable. Not 2, not 4, but exactly 3 generations of matter. This wasn't just some number. It fundamentally shaped our theories about the Big Bang and the makeup of our entire universe.
But every great story has an unfinished quest, right? While LEP confirmed the standard model with just breathtaking accuracy, it also went on a hunt for the one piece that was still missing: the elusive Higgs boson. That's right. For its grand finale, during the LEP2 phase, they cranked the energy way up, eventually reaching over 209 giga-electron volts. This entire effort was really focused on two big goals: finding that Higgs boson and looking for any signs of new physics, like something called supersymmetry.
It never found it. In its final days, in late 2000, there were these tantalizing hints, a few events that looked suspiciously like a Higgs decay, but it just wasn't enough to claim a discovery. The machine had to be shut down. But even in not finding it, LEP gave us a critical clue. It established a definitive lower limit for the Higgs's mass. It basically drew a line in the sand and told the next generation of scientists, okay, don't look below this line. If the Higgs exists, it's heavier than 114.4 GeV. It was the perfect cliffhanger.
And that cliffhanger? Well, it set the stage perfectly for its successor. LEP didn't just end, it was transformed, and it left behind a legacy that is still shaping science today.
What's so incredible is that the end of LEP was literally the beginning of the Large Hadron Collider, the very same 27-kilometer tunnel that housed this amazing precision machine was emptied out and repurposed. It became the home for the powerhouse that would finally, in 2012, discover the Higgs boson, hiding right in the energy range just above where LEP had left off.
But LEP's legacy goes even further. Think about it. The extreme technological challenges of running this thing, like developing advanced superconducting systems, ultra-stable cryogenic cooling, and detectors so sensitive they could see single particles, it forced engineers to innovate like crazy. And those innovations didn't just disappear. They actually became the foundational technologies that are essential today for building the next generation of things like quantum computers and quantum sensors. LEP was, without even meaning to, building the toolkit for the future.
So when you step back and look at the whole story, you realize LEP was so much more than just a machine. It was a triumph of precision. It solidified our understanding of the universe, it paved the way for the Large Hadron Collider, and it accidentally gave us a technological toolbox for the quantum era we're living in now.
This explainer was based on the work of Jörg Schnappet. For more deep dives into the world of quantum technology, you can visit schnappet.de. Goodbye for now.
Schnappet.de is a private project by Jörg Schnappet dedicated to promoting quantum technology. Its mission is to present knowledge in a way that is clear, precise, and transparent for those just starting out, as well as for experts who wish to deepen their expertise. He firmly believes that education and access to well-structured information are the keys to unlocking the full potential of this future technology. If his work helps you realize your own visions and actively and consciously shape quantum technology, then the goal of his project has been achieved.